Are you a life coach who's looking to build a successful life coaching business, but you really don't know how to get started, mainly because you don't have a plan in place for you to not only get started, but for you to go out and be successful within your life coaching business? Well, if you're here so you can get a plan, don't worry, I got you covered, because we're going to go over a plan in this video.
We all win when we all win. We all win when we all win.
Hey there, my friend. I'm Super Sid,
the marketing Shaman,
and I help life coaches and healers make their first or next 100K with profitable presentations. And today I'm going to go over with you specifically why life coaches need to have business plans, and specifically how you can create one really easily, really fast, so that you can go out and become a successful life coach or healer, helping heal the world fast. Let's rock and roll. All right, so the first thing we really want to look at when we're building out any type of business plan and understanding the reason why it's so important in the first place is we really got to identify where we're at, right? So if we don't understand where we're at, it's really, really hard to understand not only where we're at and what we have available to us, but where we want to go, right? Where we want to go and what's our best foot forward in going that way. So really what we really want to do when we're looking at where we're at is really looking at all the assets that we have available to us, right? So it's not always, I think a lot of times when entrepreneurs start business, one of the first things you're going to look at is you're going to say, okay, how much money do I have, or how much cash, or whatever it might be. And although that is important, there's also other assets available to us that we want to make sure that we know that we have. Having a computer and having internet connection is an asset. Having a place where we can go and we can work is an asset, right? Having a phone that we can, call our clients on is an asset. So, understanding that it doesn't always have to be cash, but what are the assets that we have in place and where are we currently at in our life as we're wanting to start this business, right? Cash is going to become a part of that because it's going to have a part of the entire whole of how you're going to run your business, how are you going to find clients and all of that stuff. But if we don't know where we're at, it's very, very hard to get started in the first place. So really, let's just take kind of like an inventory, and I will literally just like pull out every single time I come out with a new offer, every single time I come out with a new thing for my business, I'll literally pull out and I'll be like, okay, so where am I currently at in my business and how can I move forward with this, right? And obviously I'll have specific things, but I want to know, things that, does the marketplace need it? Are the customers need it? Is there enough need in the marketplace? Stuff like that. But I do want to have a list of specifically where I'm at, and specifically what I can go and start talking to the marketplace about to begin with, but we got to know where we're at. So let's get this chart, let's write out this list, let's get this inventory, and let's find out specifically where we're at and what we have available to us, right, in our lives and in our businesses right now. All right, so the next thing we really want to look at is, now that we know where we're at and we've written down that inventory of what we have available to us based on where we're at, we want to then look at where we want to go. So what's the target that we want to set forth? Where do we want to go? We want to set multiple targets ahead of us as coaches, so that we can really start hitting those goals, building momentum so that we can get to that main target. I think a lot of people, when they're looking at building goals or building targets for themselves or their businesses, is they'll build this kind of pie in the sky, right? They'll have this massive target. I want to make $1 million, right? Like target. But they have no, there's things that need to happen before, you make $1 million, right? You need to make, $500,000. You need to make $250,000. You need to make $100,000, right? You need to make maybe five figures, $10,000 first, because you haven't made that. And then you need to build plans on how you're going to conquer those goals. The reason that's important is because ultimately, when we have specific targets that we want to reach, it helps point us in the common direction each and every day so that we can put energy toward that target that we want to reach. It's not just, oh, well, we want to do this and we're going to go out there and do a bunch of things. Same reason why I'm shooting this video right now. Yes, it's something that I can do. It's energy that I can put out into the world, but it's obviously me doing this video is pointing me in the direction of the target that I want to reach and helping as many people as I want to help, as many life coaches and healers that I want to help, so that they can go out there and help more people as life coaches and healers, helping heal the world more and more. So by me putting out videos each day, it's not just some random thing. It's having people like you watch these videos so that you can get help, and building your plan so that you can go out there and help more people. Right? So what we want to do is we want to make sure that we have these plans that are helping us reach these goals. So we're going to, obviously, I like to start with what is the end goal? And then when we build that end goal, what is the timeline on that goal? Do we want to reach that goal at the end of the year? Do we want to reach it at the end of the month? Do we want, quarter? Do we want to reach it at the end of the month? Do we want to reach it at the end of the week? Right? And then once we kind of build that down, right, we can then look at, okay, so I want to do the big pie in the sky thing for next year. That's my big goal. Now, what am I going to do? How am I going to break this down? Well, I like to break it down into quarters, right? So, okay, what do I got to do in quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4? So like January, February, March, right? April, May, June, right? July, August, September, October, you know what I mean? So break it out into quarters. And then from those quarters, you can then break it up into months, right? And have monthly goals. So, and then what you'll do is like, say something is a longer term goal, it might take a year to obtain. Well, then, if you have it broken up into quarters, you can break it up into 4 specific quarterly things. You can do that by, say, dollar amount. So it can be like, hey, I'm going to make $1 million, if that's the goal, by the end of the year, by the end of 2022, then, okay, then maybe I want to make 250, 250, 250, and 250 in the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. And that's going to be, more of a micro type of goal that we can really get down in on. And then we can even break it more, right? We can break it down into, months. Okay, in 3 months, we need to make roughly $85,000 a month. How are we going to do that? And you can even begin breaking it down even more. I need to make roughly $22,000 a week, right? And as you start doing that, you can then start breaking down the task and the things that need to get done, right? I need to sign up so many people per week. I need to sign up so many people per month. I need to gain so much momentum, get so many eyeballs on my stuff, get out so many leads, whatever it might be. And then that can really start to hone in on what it is that we're doing so that we can then start to reach those goals that we have in front of us. Before I go into this last piece on exactly how to build your plan so that you can go out there in the next year and reach your goals with a business plan, right, that you now have right with you with goals and things you're going to achieve on it, I want to remind you to subscribe to this channel. I'm putting out new and exciting videos every single day, helping life coaches and healers make their first or next 100K. Make sure to click that button below. All right, so let's go into the last piece. So now that you know exactly where you're at, okay, and we have kind of an inventory of what kind of assets that we have available, and then we have the goal, and it's not just goal, but goals that we've set up, right? Let's talk about how we plan this out. How do we go from where we're at to where we want to get to? How do we make this plan so that we can begin ascending, upwards up that ladder to where we want to go to, and actually reach the goal that we set forth for ourselves and our life coaching and healing businesses. So what I like to do here is there's a couple of things, and what I talk to my clients about is really breaking down into these 2 things. And they're really kind of the same thing, but they're just a tad bit different in regards to what you can do. But the first way is we build what's classified as a campaign calendar. So we'll go out and we'll get one of those calendars. You can get them on Amazon, and they're basically, we'll just have month of the calendar. So we'll have 12 monthly calendars on this massive whiteboard type sheet. You can just go to Amazon and get that. And basically what you'll do is, you can go get one of those. And then what we'll do is each quarter, we'll go out and we'll write out what we're going to do and what goals we want to reach through the events and the profitable presentations that we're then going to have, right? So we'll have these presentations, whether it's workshops or webinars or master classes or summits or events or, live events or virtual events, whatever it might be. We're going to go out there and we're going to have these. And then, we're going to have goals that we're going to set through each one of these that's going to help us reach our goals at the end of the month, at the end of the week, at the end of the quarter, whatever it might be, right? So we'll go in and we'll build these campaign calendars and we'll say we're going to do this month or this week that's going to help us reach this goal. So that's one way that we do it. Another way is a way that I learned through a guy named Brendan Burchard, he's a personal development coach. And when I was going through some of his courses, he talked about this idea of what's called a battle board. And a battle board is where you basically do kind of like the exact same thing, but instead of doing it on calendars, you get out 8 by 11, white sheets of computer paper. And what you'll do is you'll just put months right on it, right? And then you just put you can get that double-edged tape, or you can just roll tape or whatever and stick it on your wall. You're going to set your goals at the end of the year. What is it that you want to achieve? And then you're going to work backwards on that battle board. And what do you need, based on what you need to achieve, say December 2022, what needs to happen in December for this stuff to happen? What needs to happen in November for the stuff in December to be prepared to happen? And you just work yourself backwards all the way up to where you're at now. This is a very powerful exercise because when you do this, it allows you to start opening up your eyes into what needs to get done, but also starts to organize the plan that needs to happen throughout the timeline, whether it's next year or it's in a month or whatever that goal is set at, and that time that we set out for that goal. It helps us really organize that timeline. And then when we look at the business plan, it allows us to understand this is where we're at, this is where we want to get to, and here's the plan of what we need to take forth so that we can go out there, right, and build and organize the plan that we're going to get to that goal. And there's obviously other types of things that you can do inside the business plan, but this is a great way to get started with that business plan, because really the business plan is going to identify this is where you're at, assets, liabilities, all that fun stuff, and this is where you want to get to, and then you're going to have a plan based on the assets and the liabilities that you need to use to get to that spot, right? So understanding that, this is a very cool way to look at your plan, especially when you're looking at your business plan each and every year or each and every quarter, because it's allowing you to put like things inside that business plan that are basically being used as like catapults to catapult, right, you more and more toward your goals. So are you looking to build a business plan and a plan for you as a life coach and healer to go out there and specifically be able to make your first or next 6 figures as a life coach or healer? Then I have a special guide for you, a 22-page guide down here below that's absolutely free. And in this 22-page guide, it's going to go over with you the 3 secrets that every single life coach and healer needs to be doing so that they can make their first or next $100,000 as a life coach or healer. So make sure to click that link below and grab your copy of the 100K Life Coach Launch Guide. And don't forget, we all win when we all win. I choose to win today, and I hope you choose to win by clicking that link below and claiming your 100K Life Coach Launch Guide today. We'll see you in the next video.